Oh my God. That is so loud. I did say I was doing this because the session cancelled, and now it's just, that's thunder. Just keep going. Just keep going. What was I saying? I'm really proud of myself for creating a piece of content every week that is the goal of what I wanted to set out for the channel. I wanted to be a real working photographer, and I'm a real working photographer here in my Portsmouth studio. We shoot real clients on a weekly basis. We work with real people with different needs, different anxieties, from different backgrounds. And I wanted to share advice to other photographers that would have been valuable to me 23 years ago when I started my professional photography journey working in studio. I didn't want to create over stylized content. I didn't want to create content on behalf of brands or content that was overly manufactured. And I've been very lucky in my career. I have been represented by brands like Canon have produced short film documentaries on me, and I am an ambassador for the lighting brand Elinchrom, and I am upfront with all of these things. But these videos are produced for you. They're produced for a working audience, and they're produced for that young lad in his early 20s who really didn't understand an f-stop from a bus stop and wanted to learn and get better. One of the massive benefits of starting this channel is that I get to reach out to a global audience, and it really fills my heart with joy when I see messages coming from all around the world just saying that they've just watched the video. They don't even have to say that they've enjoyed it, just saying that they've watched or taken something away from the video. And we've had messages from that from all over the world, but it is difficult to know exactly what the photography industry wants from a channel like this. There is a space in the comments below for you to put your ideas. Chances are I'm probably going to do it. That's the sort of person I am. I'm kind of reasonably spontaneous. In fact, this video today is spontaneous, and I'm only creating it because my client cancelled late last night. So I've actually got a free day in studio to create whatever I want. And I thought that this would be a good opportunity to look back at those 100 videos. I don't even know if it's 100 videos. I'm just guessing. I've definitely been doing this for about 2 years now. There's about 50 weeks in a year, and I've definitely been doing a new piece of content every week. But I'm going to have a look back at those 100 videos now and select my 5 favorite images that were created in some cases with real clients. Sometimes with these shoots that we showcase to you, they're just showcases that we add on to the end of real shoots that we have with real photography clients. And that's really the core belief of this channel, is to provide authentic content for you and authentic advice that I use every day in studio. Now, it's always going to be in my interests to be as open and honest as possible about brands within photography. I've been using Canon cameras now for around 30 years, and I really enjoy how they feel ergonomically, but I find their app is quite glitchy and doesn't always work as intuitively as I would like. I love Elinchrom lights. I think they're reliable, I think they're sturdy, I think they're easy to use, but their new transmitter, although really user-friendly and really modern, really eats into the AA battery life and really should be just C-port rechargeable. This is all feedback I've given the brands personally. So what you'll always see from me on this channel is authentic, real content, not overly stylized, not overly polished, just real content from a real working photographer sharing the advice that he feels would actually benefit people taking their first steps into the world of studio-based portrait photography, and particularly portrait photography using artificial light sources. And with that in mind, I'd like to go back and celebrate some of the pictures that we've taken over the last 100 videos. I'm going to go back, choose my favorite 5 from those videos and just talk about them and have a look at the setups that we used, what was going on in our mind behind them, and how they make us feel. Okay, so the first image that we've chosen comes from our Dorothy themed photo shoot with the amazing Zoe. And this is a photo tutorial that we put together to showcase basic color theory and how you can use basic props to elevate the session. The thing I'm going to do for this, as I look around desperately trying to find the thing that I'm looking for, the first studio I worked with had a ladder twice the size of this. Within my first month of shooting there, I dropped a camera from the top of the ladder. Yeah. Now this prop that we've used in this instance is just a frame, and it's an old frame that I picked up, I think from a scrapyard ages ago. It was just sort of broken and busted and was ready to be thrown out, so I said, oh, I'll have that. So I've grabbed it and I've used it in a lot of different shots ever since, but just for this particular image, it was really keenly used to showcase how you can use something like that frame not only to add to the color harmony of a piece, but also to help with the narrative of a story, because the narrative of a photograph is something that gives you impact and emotional attachment to the image. So by using the frame to highlight these red slippers, it helps us really draw our eye to the element in the photo that we really want our viewer to have their attention grabbed by. Zoe's an amazing person to work with and was great in the session. This is a 2-part workshop, and you can view it at the link just above. And there's lots of really simple pieces of advice that you can use straight away that will hopefully help elevate your photography in terms of creating a narrative within a single frame. The second image here is of Nixie. Nixie visited our studio while she was over from the USA, and we did 2 workshops with her. This is the second one where we showcase how to use a beauty dish. A lot of people want to get their hands on a beauty dish. I've seen this loads of times before where people just want to get their hands on a beauty dish and they instantly think it's going to make all of the pictures look and feel beautiful, and that can happen, but I actually find the beauty dish the hardest modifier to use. But when you refine it, and it takes very small changes and real attention to detail when you're using it, but when you do refine it, you do end up getting a really aesthetically pleasing light source that sort of lends itself into that sort of traditional Hollywood, almost sort of Paramount style lighting there that gives you a timeless feel in the images. With Nixie's attention to detail on her makeup in this image, it really makes this shot, and the lighting complements the look. And because those two things are married up together, you have sort of double the impact of this image, and that's why I've chosen this one here. The third one I've chosen is from Lucy's shoot, and it's How to Flow Pose. Lucy shared these images from her shoot. This was a real shoot we had with a real client to help her empowerment progress, I suppose, her progress through a life journey that was transformative for her in many ways. And when she shared these posts online with some words that she'd penned together, it was really emotional to sort of read how these images made her feel. A lot of new photographers struggle with posing, so this flow posing workshop takes you through my mindset in terms of how I would get a real client who's not posing every day and not comfortable in front of the camera to work them up to a position where they can pose natural and feel good in their photographs. And we know that she felt good at these photographs because of the evidence of how she shared them online. It's a really simple but effective workshop. You can check it out at the link above. The next one is Amira's shoot. This is a shoot that's just over a year old on our channel, and it's where we've taken a lot more care and time over the styling, not only of the set, but also of Amira herself, by painting her gold, throwing us back to those James Bond days of Goldfinger and all of that. And it's analog in-camera effects where we've taken time to body paint her entirely, to marry up the set with the fashion items that she's wearing as well, and to create a dynamic picture that really has immediate impact, but was captured almost entirely in camera. Lots of good lighting tips in this one. It's a little bit more intermediate rather than beginner led, but a lot of also good tips in terms of set design and set styling and sort of like camera theory in terms of composition and what we're trying to achieve within a single frame. And Amira's tons of fun in this one, messing around behind my back constantly throughout the whole shoot. We've shown you how you can use gold paint, how you can use a gold bikini, how you can use a gold reflector, a gold background, and 3 lights. You don't even need to use 3 lights, you could just use 2 lights with there. And the last one here is of Michael. It was one of a series where I wanted to take old photographs and try and replicate them to see if I could recreate the style that the photographer was trying to achieve. And in this one, we did it with the Starboy album cover, and I wanted to see if I could recreate the lighting setup that was used for that album cover with Michael here. There's some sort of uplighting underneath the nose here where it's very, very bright, underneath the chin here for us, and just underneath the lips there. And what that suggests to me is that there's a low light coming from low down, uplighting our subjects, either in the form of a reflector. And what we ended up doing was we ended up mimicking the pose and doing something similar, but then eventually getting to a point where we took this image.
How on earth did you do this? You're just like, no, yeah, this aperture, this sort of thing.
So it's all about backward engineering a shot that you see, and I first saw it with an old David Bailey shot of Michael Caine in a magazine article 20 years ago, which I might recreate on this channel one day. But we tried to do it with a more modern album cover, and we tried to reverse engineer and unpick the lighting setups to see if we could work out how these images were shot, starting from the base level and working up to the refinements in the minute details in the posing, and then some of the post-processing as well to give us the end result. So those are 5 of my favorite images from the last 100 videos on this YouTube channel. I hope you're enjoying the content that we're producing for you on here, and I hope that you're getting something educational out of it as well. If you have any ideas for future videos or more things that you'd like to see on this channel, drop them down in the comments below. You can order an online critique through me, a personal one-to-one critique. That can all be done through my website at NoFussMuss.com. And if you visit there, you can download our free posing guide, and you can purchase and download our 1 light, our 2 light, and our 3 light workshops. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate every single person that stumbles across my channel and takes the time to like, to subscribe, and to say nice things. Keep being creative, keep pushing yourself forward, keep celebrating in-camera artistry, and as ever, all the very best.